being unfamiliar with brain injuries, I'm almost like, dude, shake it off. You know what I mean? Come on, this can't be that bad. Your fin hit you.
He kind of can like shut people out when he's getting anxious and not communicate well. And so at first I thought that's what was going on. And so to be perfectly honest, I kind of thought it wasn't real.
I'm such a character, I just feel like everyone's like, always like, what's Sterling doing now kind of thing. Is this another Sterling thing? But I was messed up.
Before his brain injury, I don't think I ever heard him say anything serious, like literally. Like, so when all of a sudden he's talking about a brain injury, he's having issues and he can't walk and he's falling down all the time, you wonder if he's like joking.
I remember when he told me the story and he left, I was like, am I being filmed? Is he fucking with me? Like,
is he doing the like Andy Kaufman thing? Like, is this like some new genius angle that Sterling's working with, you know? And Dave, who's really tight with him, even like Dave didn't know.
When you see Sterling in a neck brace, the first thought is like, what's he up to now? And it's like 2 months after he said he's got a brain injury, and I go, God, he's really riding this one out, you know? Like, and it's, looking back now, it's so stupid, but that, honestly, like, that was my reaction.
So they took me to a doctor, and the doctors are like, test me. They're like, he's depressed. I'm like, depression can make you crippled? They're like, maybe. Dr. Doug was like, he was the biggest thing in my life during that because no one understood me. And he was the first person to really understand what I'm going through. And like, okay, like, you can make it, you can get, our goal is this. And like, it was like finally someone understands me and can help me move a direction.
I call myself the doctor of last resort because that's basically what happens. People go to their psychiatrist, they go to their neurologist, they go everywhere, and then they come here. Well, Sterling was the typical brain injury patient, but it was severe. He was barely able to walk when he came in. He had to make frequent stops on his way into the door.
The stroller was the hard part. My parents used a stroller at the very end of their life. It kind of hit me between the eyes.
Sterling's problems were really, really complex. Not only had he had brain injury that affected the pathways to actually move, but there was brain injuries that affected the frontal lobes too, making it difficult to literally function with his family, in his life. He was done. He was flatlined, if you will. Couldn't function. We always start with just getting on the balance board first. Just standing there, trying to stand there. And for him, he would get on for just a little bit, and that was it. He would have to do this. That was the best he could do. It slowly but surely built him up to where he could stand on the balance board first. Then we added the lasers. In our brain, we create maps. We're constantly creating maps of our external world, and we're constantly recreating maps of our body and where it is in space. And if those maps or areas of the brain fail, we have to remap those processes for that patient to get everything working again so that they know where the floor is, so they know where everything is in space, including themselves. So we had several areas of his brain that we had to work on while trying to help him metabolically as well, with eating right and things like that.
What's up, brother?
What's up, bros?
Hey, what's up?
Can I get the double cheese?
Any special wacky stuff?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Watching that figure? Do
Nope.
That.
I was a vegan for 5 years. When I hit my head, and I would eat. I just couldn't feel full. It like made me feel crazy. So I got a steak, and I remember the first bite, it was just like, oh, like it finally calmed everything down. Animal fat's really important when it comes to brain injuries because the brain needs fat. So I just have to eat so much more to just feel like it's getting what it needs. I'm eating as much as I can to like survive for my brain. And like I gained like 5 pounds and everyone's like, disgusting, put a shirt on.
Surfers are out there all day to catch that perfect wave, you know? All those waves, you gotta come off of them. That means either you're diving, you're jumping, or you're getting pummeled. You know, you gotta come off of those waves. And so when you do, every time there's a little bit of an impact. So the surfers, like everybody else, has got to understand how to protect that head coming off of the wave.
How's it?
There he is.
Hey, how's it?
How's it? How are we doing, Ling?
Doing.
I don't think I've talked to you in a very, very long
I
time.
haven't talked to you since you're like 16. So, when did you get your brain injury? Or when did you start noticing?
It's hard to say, because it's not one
Right.
for surfers. Because the way all the people explained it to me was like it's not an impact, you know. It's like the shaking baby syndrome kind of
Right,
thing.
yeah.
Where it's like my like neck now, like I have to ice it and heat pack it like every night just so I can fucking turn my head from side to side. 'Cause it just
Right.
I have a pretty big head, which sucks for surfing.
Yeah, I have a hard time in grocery stores. Lights are so bright and...
Oh my god, that's a total freaking thing. I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
It happened to me twice in grocery stores, like before I even knew what head injuries were.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Where I ended up like staring at this aisle of food and had no idea, like...
You're like
the last,
overwhelmed.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Of my life, and was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Like I have to like be in like a scooter because I'll like lose the ability to like stay standing.
Jesus, dude, that's so gnarly.
What do you feel like now? Like, do you feel 100% or?
No. I mean...
What's it feel like in there?
It's, I don't know. I mean... You know, it's hard to describe. You know what it's like. It's like...
I don't know. I have a brain injury.
I mean, in the larger sense, for surfing, like, it makes me feel better. Like, just hearing you say the fucking grocery store thing made me feel so much better. Like, it's just the fact that no one talks about it.
Yeah.
I think it's, you know, surfing's such a
Very-
fucking macho thing. It's like stuck in the freaking 80s or 90s, whatever, where you don't talk about your feelings and you're tough and you...
Right. That's like probably so terrible for our brains, not talking. Like,
Yeah.
we're emotional creatures, and if we don't talk, it like comes out in weird ways, like putting stuff up your butt or something.
Or just freaking out and breaking a surf
Which is sick.
in front of everyone.
When I was a kid growing up, I thought nothing of concussions. I thought concussions were something you would brag about. You know, oh, I got a concussion. And then as I got older, I learned that when you get a concussion, it's like damage. You're really like damaging your brain. And then if your brain incurs damage, it stays damaged unless you fix it.